Well, can't say I saw that one coming. Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Piles here with another one of my videos, and today I decided that I want to talk about my reactions to a recent announcement that Creative Assembly gave regarding their latest Three Kingdoms title. Three Kingdoms, that's latest Total War title, whatever. All over the place here. You can tell that this is not my scripted form. We're going off the cuff here. Let's see how good it turns out. Basically, in this recent announcement is they are discontinuing support. They released their last patch. Once they released that video, released their last patch, and from there will be no more DLC, no more future patches for Three Kingdoms. Basically, it's been only 2 years, and which is weird to say, and they're already dropped in support, considering that Warhammer 2 has been out since what, 2017, 2018, and that's still receiving, you know, plenty of support and a new Warhammer title on the way. What's weird about this video though is they're not moving on to another time period like Medieval 3 that we've been asking for forever now, or an Empire 2. Two of the things I think a lot of people would want to see, especially the more historical fan base. Instead, they're going to move on to like another Three Kingdoms, so it's going to be like a Three Kingdoms 2. What the hell are they even going to call it? I mean, this is very similar to the Napoleon Total War situation, and more recently the Total War Attila situation. Now, not to talk about the quality of those games because I don't feel like talking about Napoleon Total War anymore, and I'm tired of the comments. But for Attila, I like Attila, but more on when I actually do review it. But the point I'm trying to make is that instead of making an expansion or DLC, they're basically taking, you know, an expansion for that time period or something similar, and basically just making it its own game. And from what I understand, it's still part of the Three Kingdoms, which I'm disappointed in two reasons. One, there's still a lot that Three Kingdoms need. I feel like the post-launch support was getting good once the Nanman people were released. Zhurong, Monghuo, like, yeah, it was unbalanced, but once they released that content, I was like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. You know, that's something that should have been, you know, day one, and or even like, you know, an early DLC. But I was glad that once they got that, and I was curious to see what would happen. You know, there's not really a lot they could do at the time period, which I was worried about. I was like, okay, you can't really expand much. Maybe more to the north, maybe, or I really didn't know what they were going to do, because I was like, you've already expanded to the south, maybe a little bit to the west. Again, not sure, you know, given the situation. So instead, they were doing a lot of chapter packs, you know, different start dates, and that's all well and good, but the start dates were only separated by like a few years. And, you know, you had the Yell Turban Rebellion one, which was very different from the 190 start. Then you had the 194, and this recent one, which was 199 or 200, Fates Divided. And I was like, okay, you still got the Battle of Wuzhang Plains to go, so way later. You also can do the Rise of the Jin faction, which I would have liked to have seen them tackle that in Three Kingdoms, you know, to see how fragmented each of the kingdoms were. Like, even though there was, you know, Wei, Wu, and Shu, at the time it was fully formed, there were fractions and divisions within each of the factions. So they could have, you know, represented the Jin faction and all that stuff. They could have basically made it similar to like the first Rome Total War and how Rome was divided. But I have no clue what they're going to do now. And they said that, you know, to follow on to what I said earlier, is that they're going to make another one for this time period. So will it be that? I think so. You know, like a fall of the Three Kingdoms, similar to like the fall of the Roman Empire or the Total War Napoleon. That's where I think they're going to go. But honestly, like I said, I would have rather just have been a Medieval 3 or an Empire 2 or something else. Because now that they've dropped support, I really don't think people are going to believe that they're going to continue, you know, they're going to give the next Three Kingdoms the Warhammer treatment. So what does this mean for historical Total War? To me, I think it says what a lot of us in the fan base has been talking about. Now, just to state, I love both the Warhammer series and I love the historical Total Wars. You know, I love Attila, Rome 2, Medieval 2, Shogun 2. I enjoy all those, as well as Warhammer 2. So, I'm not biased when it comes to either side, but when it comes to the historical, I definitely can tell that there was, or we all can tell the historical side, there definitely was a less focus and less attention on the historical side since Warhammer 2 was the big money maker. You know, they got to make that cash money, boy. This announcement basically says, like, you know, they don't really care much about historical Total War, and that's unfortunate because I'm pretty sure people will drop money for Medieval 3, and they did the Rome remaster, but that was kind of you know, that was pretty garbage from what I've talked about in the UI and stuff. You know, it just seemed like a rush job. They didn't want to take their time with it. I've done a video on that already, don't want to go more into it. So yeah, it just seems like there's really a lack of focus on this, and the Saga titles, who the hell knows at this point. But the reason why I did this video is because I originally was, you know, everyone voted saying, okay, I want you to do 3 Kingdoms, do a Let's Play on that, fine. And I know I've been late on that, I apologize. But now after this announcement, it's like, do I even want to play this anymore? You know, it just feels like, you know, such a slap in the face from the support that we've given and the DLC that we've bought and stuff. You know, really looking forward to more. And, you know, there was a good, like, I'm not going to say the 3 Kingdoms fan base was the most biggest thing, but it was good enough. But we can just tell that the post-launch support wasn't what we wanted it to be, and Creative Assembly dropped the ball on it. And to see them just, like, you know, give up on this when 3 Kingdoms is still very profitable and still has a good community is really unfortunate. I already recorded like the first episode, the first part of it, but after this, man, I think I'm gonna have to start over anyway, just because what I say is just not even relevant to the situation anymore. So I don't know, we may start it over or just move on to another Total War. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole situation, and also if I should continue to do a Let's Play on 3 Kingdoms, the big Dong Zhuo. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching as always, and this is Powerhouse signing off.